video, I'm going to be showing you another design that is featuring the tiniest bit of the 2022 Madam Glam Advent Calendar. And then we're also going to do the Snowy Layover collection from Madam Glam, which is the completely glitteriest thing I've ever seen. And every time in December I had a client that did not know what they wanted to do, which happens a lot, I would bring out that collection and be like, look at these! And they almost always were like, ooh, I need one of those. And there was a color that just jumped out to everybody because they're so intensely glittery. They're just amazing. So if you're a glittery person, I highly recommend you grab these colors because they're mind-blowingly sparkly. And they are throughout this Amethyst set that I have on my nails, which is just so pretty and so elegant and so like winter, simple, I want to be elegant and not overdo it kind of a January feeling, which is what I have right now. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well. So I'm going to begin on my thumb. I'm going to do a overlay of a very pretty lilac acrylic. If you do not, obviously, if you're not doing acrylic, you could do just a semi-sheer lilac color acrylic. In fact, Madam Glam has one that would be perfect for this from like, I don't know, June maybe of last year. They did a whole collection of semi-sheer milky colors that were pastel, and I will put, if I can, when I find it, I'll find it. I'll put that color in the description box below in case you want us to do that instead. But after I have that kind of milky lilac color going down, then I'm going to encapsulate it with clear acrylic. I wanted the color to be consistent all the way down the nail, so instead of building up the apex with the lilac color, which would create more pigment in the apex area, I wanted to just kind of keep it the same. Then with perfect white gel polish, I'm going to be just taking and creating kind of an almost nail bed area with white. So I'm going to color block out a big section of white across my nail. This is where the amethyst, texture pattern is going to be placed on my thumbnail. So after I've got that done, then I'm going to take that gorgeous purple, so pretty, and I'm going to be using that on the tip of the nail. That color is Love at Frost Sight, and that is the one that is from that collection, and the video does not do it justice even slightly. It's like a flash gel color, and it is just so pretty. It's so pretty. And the other thing I love about these colors is that they aren't just purple glitter. It's like purple glitter and blue glitter and red glitter, which all mixes together and creates this super dimensional. So now I'm going to take 3 different shades of purple from Madam Glam. All of them will be listed in the description box below, and I'm going to mix each of them with some of Madam Glam's top coat. I'm just going to take and create a watercolor version of each one. It actually takes not as much top coat as I did originally. So if you test it out and you're like, yeah, these colors are not quite as pigmented as I would like, add a little bit more. But then grab little bits of each of those colors and just kind of wash them over the white section on the nail. You can kind of create some patterns in here and some texture. Don't overthink it. Don't really put a whole bunch of thought into it. Just kind of go at it and don't worry too much. Don't cure between colors. Just kind of go from one to the next, adding it so it's not just a solid purple. Apply a layer of no wipe top coat over the entire nail just to keep it kind of even and level. And then with purple ink, and with the gold ink, again, color names for those will be in the description box below, from Madam Glam, I'm going to be adding the rest of that crystal marble texture. And I've got my brush dipped into some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just going to take and kind of create this pattern. If you want this nice splotchy looking marble, that's when you use the glossy no wipe top coat. If you want more foggy of a look, then you would use matte top coat. I'm now going to apply Madam Glam's foil gel, which is from the Advent Calendar, over the top of that. And after I have the foil gel just over the amethyst area, I'm going to grab some flaked gold foil. This is not like the transfer foil. This is more of like a craft, almost like 24 karat gold. It's not actually 24 karat gold, but more of like a loose flake foil. And I'm going to pick up little pieces of that and put that down in kind of the areas I want it. I'm going to just sort of border one section of my amethyst area on this nail. After I have picked up each little section of foil and set it down in the areas that I want it, kind of just again, don't overthink any part of this. Use a silicone tool to really press that foil down into the foil gel. And now this is a super important step. We're going to cap this nail with some clear builder gel. So I'm going to apply a thin coat of clear builder gel over the entire nail. And then, because the amethyst area has built up so much extra height, I'm going to apply a bead of the builder gel into that area that didn't have any polish on it at all, so that it levels it out. Cleanse it, and then you can move on. It shouldn't really need any buffing if you have a nice self-leveling builder gel. After that, on your middle and ring nails, do a thin clear overlay, and then I'm going to take the lilac colored acrylic that I used on the thumb, place a bit of that down in one section, and then press some mylar flakes into the lilac color acrylic. Just grab a small section of mylar flakes. You want like a teeny tiny little mount in the nail. Then using a cloudy white acrylic, I'm going to be going around and kind of fading it kind of partially over the mylar flakes, just sort of around in that area, so that it doesn't go from that clearish to bright white. It kind of has a nice soft transition. After I've got the milky white built in, then I'm going to take in with a more of a bright white, classic white acrylic, and I'm going to fill in any other sections of the nail. If you are not an acrylic person, all of this can be done with gel. You just want to use some builder gels and you can build it up. It doesn't even take much thickness whatsoever. But once you have that base color down, then encapsulate the nail with a layer of clear acrylic. Again, my nails are very, very thin. The acrylic is not thick. It doesn't need to be thick. And my nails are currently quite short. And so that thickness, I do need a little apex, but it's not like I really need to have a whole bunch of strength built up because there's just not much there. Now I'm going to take those same diluted gel polishes and add just a hint of purple and then the no wipe gel top coat. And now back with my inks, I'm going to be adding the same inky splotches going across this nail, focusing them around almost like a halo around that area that has the mylar flakes. On my ring nail, I put the mylar flakes in a corner so it wasn't in the center of the nail like on the ring or on the middle finger. So then all of that ink goes kind of around the opposite side of the nail. I'm going to splotch out the ink, and then I'm going to do my index finger. This nail I want it to be darker. I am still starting out with that same white base just to keep the consistency. However, if you did want to switch it up and apply like a light purple instead, just to give it a darker base to begin with, that probably actually would be better than doing it with white to begin with. After that, I'm going to take my diluted purples and I'm going to be washing over this. If it's a little streaky, if you see brush marks afterwards, don't worry about it because there's so many layers and textures and everything being built up on this nail that it is perfectly okay for this first layer to just be kind of hazardous, just plop stuff down. Don't overthink it. I know I said that previously, but I can't reiterate that enough to just kind of go with the flow. After you have some purple built up, do more than what I did, by the way. And then you're going to apply the no wipe top coat and then your purple and gold inks. With the purple and gold inks on this nail specifically, because again, I was aiming for a darker marble, I would recommend doing more ink than what I did. If you want, you can also throw in a little bit of black ink too. If you wanted to go kind of a different route altogether, one thing that I did, because I did an amethyst set on myself and my mother, like this 2 days back to back. On hers, I did dark purples as the base colors, and then I did a white, Madame Glam's white ink over the top. That would certainly be another option for this nail to keep it darker like that. After I have all my inks splotched out, I'm going to go in with the darkest shades of purple that I diluted, and I'm going to be shading in some of those little holes basically that were created with the inks just to give this nail, like I said, I needed it darker. I needed it to be more of a contrast. So I'm going to blend in more purple just to darken it up. Second coats over areas to darken them up even farther after you cured it. Again, there is that top coat built in. You don't want to just do a whole bunch of layers and build it up really high. You want it to cure nicely between them. So if you do need to do more than one coat, as I am, just fully cure in between, but because that top coat, it needs a full minute instead of 30 seconds. Now going in with Levet Frostite, I'm going to be adding some veining. I did that on my thumbnail as well, just tiny little bits of veining. Now I'm going to apply a layer of the foil gel over the top and then grab my gold flake foil and I'm going to press it down just selectively in little areas here and there. I did not do the gold flake foil on the 2 lighter nails, the middle and the ring nails. I left those just with those mylar flakes shining through. After you've pressed down your gold flake foil with your tweezers, go through just like before, use a silicone tool and really press them down. After that, because this nail does have that little bit of foil, just to make sure that they stay exactly where you put them, a very thin coat of builder gel is all that's needed. You don't need to build up any extra height like you did on the thumb to fill in that little cavity. On the pinky nail, last but not least, we're going to do a full nail of Love at First Sight. I could not help myself. It is just so pretty that nail just got that color. And now we're going to cleanse the builder gel if there is any inhibition layer left and apply top coat. When you are applying top coat over your inks, make sure that you do so in a very gentle manner so that you don't smear the inks. So just kind of float the gel polish down. And then over the Love at Frost site, sorry, my camera thinks my thumb is more interesting than the nails. Sometimes I don't agree with my camera. But then after that's cured, you're all done. And they're so pretty. Oh, they're just so pretty. I stare at them, and I had a client who was telling me a story, and she said, and then I told my boss, oh, I love your nails, because she got distracted and saw my nails instead and just couldn't help herself. And it was just one of those funny little moments. I hope you guys like them as much as we do, and I will see you all next time. Bye.